Hey guys, just wanted to apologize. I know I've, you know, not posted recently. I've had some stuff going on with family and stuff, but I'm gonna start recording again here soon, or now I guess. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna stand up, really get into this, read off my phone, talk really directly into the microphone. Um, Hope you guys like this. If you don't, just let me know and I'll get back to doing what I was doing. All right, let's get into it. Blood Warlock, Succubus Partner in the Apocalypse, Chapter 21, Serious Injuries and a New Enemy. Lilith looked at the not-so-handsome face resting shamelessly on her bosom, and a strange smile appeared on her lips as she recalled the entire process of the previous battle. Just one strike from the First Order Blazing Beetle was enough to kill Bai Zemin, or, at the very least, knock him out and render him helpless like a fish out of the ocean. However, Bai Zemin managed to evade the most dangerous attacks and was only hit by the aftermath of those attacks. Whether his life was in danger, Lilith could only clench her fists and looked helplessly onwards, wishing that his path would not end here. But Lilith knew very well that Bai Zemin's enemy this time was just too strong. Even if his stats were overwhelmingly higher than a normal level 15 evolved due to his constant absorption of soul power from stronger enemies, the difference between a normal evolved and a first order monster was simply too difficult to overcome. Unlike humans who acquire stat points to distribute after each level, monsters don't get any of that. However, in return, they get a powerful boost in their overall stats after successful class advancement. We led him towards the pharmacy building, which, coincidentally, was just a few meters away. The corpse of the First Order Blazing Beetle lay dead, surrounded by all sorts of debris, with almost the entirety of its huge head separated from the rest of its body. Lilith pointed towards the monster's body, and some things floated towards her. After a glance, she simply put them away.
At least I can do so much.
Bai Zemin couldn't rest for long. Although his mental fatigue was very great, he was feeling tearing pain and itching similar to that of thousands of red ants crawling all over his body. When he opened his eyes, he couldn't help but grimace at how horrible his current condition was. Thanks to the fact that the rainwater had washed away the blood on his face, he could now see out of his left eye. However, due to mental fatigue, his eyesight was not as focused as it used to be. The blood that was dripping from his wound after being hit by a large cement block on his head had also stopped completely, and he could feel that part of his head stinging horribly. He felt his heart bleed when he saw that the velocity boots had already melted to the point of no return. Even if it was just a normal treasure, plus 10 agility points was an improvement too great that he had suddenly lost. However, looking at his particularly destroyed wrist, Bai Zemin didn't know whether to feel happy or sad. Happy because he, fortunately, fractured a hand and not a leg, which would practically render him an invalid in this world. Being an invalid in a world where dangers lurked around every corner was no different from being dead.
You finally woke up, sleepyhead.
A soft, honey-sweet voice brought him out of his thoughts. Looking ahead, he saw the beautiful Lilith looking down at him with a smile that, for the first time to him, looked real and not faked. Good morning. No. How long did I sleep? Bai Zemin suddenly became anxious about something and quickly asked as he tried to stand up. Unfortunately, he failed miserably as he felt burning pain from his feet. Only now did he realize that he had suffered burns of varying degrees. Moreover, the stinging he felt in that area was especially annoying.
It's only been about 30 minutes. Don't worry.
Lilith's words calmed him once again. Gritting his teeth with his forehead now beaded with sweat, Bai Zemin growled, "What's wrong? What's wrong with all this itching I feel?
You suffered different kinds of injuries during your battle against that First Order monster.
Lilith slowly explained.
If you were the previous you could have died. However, after absorbing an amount of soul power purer than yours, all of your stats underwent a drastic change. Your health stat also affects the speed at which your body recovers from different injuries. The reason for the itching you are feeling right now is because your high health is healing your body's wounds at higher rates than you are used to experiencing.
Zemin, curious, couldn't help but call up his status window to see how high his stats were now so he could draw his own conclusions. Zemin, status points 22, level 20, race human, job none, title none, strength 55 plus 30, agility 71 plus 5, health 85 plus 5, stamina 75 plus 5, mana 75 plus 5, magic 179 plus 5. These stats are mine? Level 20? Previously, because he had become unconscious, Bizeman did not know how many stats he had gained after killing and absorbing part of the First Order Blazing Beetle's soul power. His current stats were a completely different world from his stats before he had ended the First Order monster's life. Before even, his level had increased by so much.
Your stats now are really scary for someone of your level.
Lilith giggled softly and looked at him with glittering eyes.
I have high expectations and a lot of hope in you. I hope I wasn't wrong.
Bizeman looked at her deeply before closing his eyes and saying casually, "You don't need to worry. I will do my best to repay you for the help you have given me so far." He already knew from before that there was no way an existence like Lilith was helping him out of the goodness of her heart alone. All intelligent beings generally acted with a goal in mind, and she had lived for who knows how many years so far. It was natural not to act casually and waste her time pointlessly. However, it was better for him as well. That way, Bizeman didn't need to feel indebted to her either. You know, men who are too smart are not very well liked. Lilith pouted charmingly, acting like a little girl. Soon, however, she smiled softly and assured him, "You don't need to worry, though. After all, my goals and your ultimate goal will align perfectly. You'll see." "You say so," he replied, rolling his eyes. His only two current goals were to survive and find his family. As for the rest of the goals, they were only secondary goals. Suddenly, several zombies appeared at the entrance of the building, staggering around with their white eyes showing no sign of life. Thanks to the heavy storm, the blood on their bodies had mostly been washed away, and they currently did not look as terrifying compared to before. Bizeman tried to stand up, but the pain he felt in his feet had reached to the point where he could not move. With no other choice, he expended some of his mana and activated his First Order blood manipulation skill. Bang, bang, bang. The eyeballs of more than 10 zombies exploded and blood began to flow uncontrollably from the sockets. However, that blood turned into 20-centimeter long thorns and fiercely stabbed the brains of the 10 zombies. Before Bizeman could let out a sigh of relief, another 5 zombies appeared at the entrance and began to slowly slide towards him. Just like before, he had no choice but to spend some of his mana to end the lives of the incoming zombies. Although the drain was fewer thanks to the blood of the zombies he had killed earlier, at this rate all of his mana would be depleted, and, with his current condition, he would end up dying miserably. Under normal conditions, even a group of 200 zombies was nothing in his eyes. However, he was currently unable to move, and if those weak level 3 to 4 zombies scratched him or bit his skin, no matter how high his level and stats were, he would definitely not be able to survive another day. Lilith also noticed the current problem and frowned. Previously, the reason why she was able to help Bizeman just as he was about to hit the ground was because the battle had already ended and did not count as her interfering. However, the current situation was completely different. and she could not interfere in any way, or she would be punished. But there was something that was disturbing Lilith. She was sure there was no way these zombies could get here so fast. After all, most of them had their legs that were chopped off and had been incapacitated after being crushed by the debris of the collapsed buildings during the battle between Bizemin and the First Order insect. Suddenly, she looked at a particular place and saw a person running under the storm in the opposite direction of the gymnasium. This person was clearly not part of the group of survivors of Bizemin and the rest, or else Lilith would remember it. However, she understood that this person was in fact an enemy.